Check, 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 check. La 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 la. La 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 la. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday to you. Hello. My introduction. Ba 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 la la la. Who are these guys? Auner. Give them a round of applause. I'm really into this instrumental stuff. I'm sorry, I can't do the metal right now. The head banging metal. I'm just into this this kind of cerebral, I don't know, connected sound. You know, like this kind of channeled sound. Really digging it right now. Welcome everybody to the program. Mark Sconti reporting. What do we got here? What do we got? And hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing, man? Welcome to the program. We're going to talk about Jim Jordan, the representative the Republican representative, who was appointed the House Judiciary Committee chair by the good McCarthy. I'm a little stuck right now. I was doing something. But fascinating letter that he wrote. Basically telling the DOJ to stay the hell out of political candidates, political, elected officials, and the media. Stay out of their lives, God damn it! Right, pointing the finger. Right, that's. I think that's unprecedented right now. I know it's just a letter. And but he is the chairman of the Judiciary House Committee. He has some weight, and we'll look at that fascinating story. What else we got? A lot of weird things happening. What was that one story? Yeah, Zelensky. Yeah, so you got NATO right now. NATO is meeting, the NATO summit, and Joe Biden basically told Zelensky, no, we're not letting you into NATO. And why? I thought you love. I thought you fucking, love the country, right? You love Zelensky and Ukraine. What happened? Why aren't you letting them into NATO? Because it's NATO. Zelensky and Ukraine were never a candidate for NATO in the first place mostly because it's Russia. But the Ukraine was fully dependent, as we now know, on the United States for its protection. And when the Biden administration, or the Bidens and the Democrats, destabilized Ukraine by accusing Trump of siding with him and the Russians, and creating a power vacuum that allowed the Russians to come in and take the Ukraine, that's the scenario, right? And so in absence of the United States, they don't want fucking Ukraine as part of NATO, because then NATO has to come in and fight for its brothers, right? Fighting the Russians, right? Ukraine's entrance into NATO would equal a NATO/ally war with Russia. So it ain't going to happen. And Biden is, correct in saying that. But why are you still sending $500 million over to Ukraine right now? I'm watching a trade right now. The market's CPI number beat expectation right now. It looks like inflation is decreasing finally on the economy. So we'll look at that. My name is Marcus Conti. Might be a quick show today because I want to bounce here. 9 a.m. every morning. We're live. Welcome, everybody. TJ in the house. Jim Gerard. William R. Hall. How are ya? Seti, good morning. Cass Philly Camden, my brother from Pennsylvania. Sean Kane, David Brown. Welcome, everybody. How are you? So it's we're live every morning at 9 a.m. And if you want to help support this program, you could do it through Zelle at shorthappylife@gmail.com. PayPal, Patreon, or other ways to support it. This is my thumbnail. So this is Jim Jordan, if you don't know who he is, pointing the finger at those dirty Democrats and the corruption that is the Biden administration. Is it really? No, they're not corrupt. They're just sniffing coke in the fucking library. Some Biden is sniffing cocaine in the library. And who cares, right? Fucking let them sniff coke and kill themselves. Who cares, right? You open up I bet if you go into the library, that library right now, the White House library, and you thumb through some of Hunter Biden's favorite readings, you're going to find traces of cocaine in those books, right? The books are now laced. And it ain't leftover from Bill Clinton either. It's his. So anyway, that's my thumbnail today. Jim Jordan. So let's start here. Alex Madoff, son's Buster, right? You remember the son Buster, the redhead? Well, this is Alec Madoff. He's sitting in jail for killing his son and wife. And the one that he didn't kill was Buster. And Buster had a conversation with him in May on the phone. Let's see if there's any love lost. How would you react, even if it's your father? How would you react to someone who has been convicted of killing your mother and your son, your brother, right? Your younger brother and your mother are dead because of this psychopath, right? All strung out on Oxycontin, 60 pills a day, right? How would you react? Let's listen to how Buster handled the phone conversation, a leaked phone conversation about a month ago. Let's listen.
Hey, buddy. Hey, I don't have a whole lot of time. I just boarded a ferry to get back to Hilton Head Island from DeFusky. Yeah, I know. I've been trying to call. I was supposed to call you while you were with Jim about this meeting. But anyway, how about text him and let him know I'm trying to call him?
So Alex Madoff is trying to get a hold of his lawyer, and his son is basically brushing him off the phone. Gave him 47 seconds. Let's listen more.
Okay. Did he talk to you about that? About the things I told him? No, I can't really understand you either. All right. I'm gonna leave word with Jim, and he'll be in touch with you. Love you. All right. Okay. I'm proud of you. Thanks.
So he brushed. It's an interesting conversation. Like I said, Buster, his mother and brother are dead because of his father who killed them, who's sitting in prison, right? And it's just a fascinating story. He supported him right till the end. And maybe now he's realizing, man, this guy's fucking crazy, man. And I have those genes, man. I got the genes of a killer. It's fascinating, man. So this is a good story, right? How about this guy, right? Man discovers 700 Civil War coins worth millions buried in Kentucky farm. Now, how about that? You're out there digging in your yard. You're digging in your farm. Let's listen. Let's watch how he did it. Check this out. Right, here's the video.
This is the most insane thing ever. Those are all $1 gold coins, $20 gold coins, $10 gold coins.
Amazing.
And look, I'm still digging them out. There's 1, 2, 3.
This is worth millions of dollars. The 1840s to the 1863s, right before the Civil War. He's finding bucket loads of gold coins worth millions.
4, 5.
They're calling it the Great Kentucky Hoard.
6 more gold coins. This is real.
Imagine that shit. Right? Imagine you're digging in your yard. What would you do, right? A man in Kentucky hit the jackpot after he discovered over 700 coins from the Civil War era on his rural farm. Unbelievable, What I say is this. Get your fucking shovel out, right? And go digging. Go dig, right? And find some shit. I would say too, like, you know what people do, right? I remember a story of a woman, a Hasidic woman in Brooklyn, New York, Williamsburg. I think I told the story. She died, poor woman, and the Hasids came in and found $1 million stuffed in a mattress. They were moving shit around, and the mattress seemed heavy. and they found a fucking $1 million cash stuffed into the mattress. Now, people hide shit, right? And then they die. Right? So I'm curious. Whenever somebody dies in a house, you can get in that house, and I bet you find the treasure. Or they simply forgot about it. Maybe like, for example, there's a man and a woman, and the man dies, and he stuffed his treasure in the fucking attic behind the wall. Right, and the wife didn't know about it, and the guy died suddenly, couldn't say anything. What I'm saying is this: any old house is a potential treasure hunt. Go through your house. If you have an old house and many people have lived there before you, go through the house. You might find money. I remember Webster Hall in New York. They found $50,000 in cash stuffed in the chandelier. They were cleaning and putting up lights. They were putting up disco balls or whatever they were doing. And they found 50 grand cash. So not an unrealistic story. All that shit is worth a lot of money. Look at the coins, man. A lot of gold on the table. Already authenticized and for sale, man. I'd fucking find some shit. Cat's Philly Camden says digs in his yard and finds hard clay and soil. Fucking me too, man. A lot of rocks. A lot of fucking rocks. A lot of rocks. So it looks like the market's going up right now. That's good. That's good news because of that CPI number. We're going to get to it in a second. And what else we got here? Great Kentucky, fucking whatever. Oh, here's Joe Biden. Let's look at the best of Joe Biden before we talk about him in the Ukraine. Best falls. Joe Biden's best falls. One. You remember the bike? Boom, bang. Oh, my God. The president fell on the... The president fell off. The president fell off his bike. Boom, 1, 2. Boom, can't get up. And the infamous flop over the sandbag fall. There we go. Boom. Fucking nosedive sandbag move. What an old fart, right? This is the guy over there. This is your representative, man. Representative. So Zelensky is outraged after Biden rejects Ukraine's NATO membership. Unprecedented and absurd, says Zelensky. Well, listen, man. You got your $1 billion of U.S. taxpayer money, or fucking whatever kind of money you want to call it. And, stop crying, right? The Russians took your country because the Russians... because you were Russia. So this NATO is garbage anyway, right? NATO is basically a strong arm of Europe and the United States. The, quote, Western Alliance, the New World Order. And Russia and China and the rest of the free fucking world is not having it. Right? Europe are prisoners, man. What happened to Italy and France and Greece and Spain? You remember when they were independent? Pfft, not anymore. They're all fucking subjected to the same garbage from the European Union. So, but for Ukraine, that would be a giant bump up. Now, even before 2019, before Ukraine was, overthrown by Russia, it was still not accepted into NATO. It didn't meet the criteria, whatever those criteria are. Lots of money. Ukraine is not a wealthy place. Right? Most of the money, I guess, funnels in from Russia. Who the fuck knows? But look, the bottom line with Ukraine is if Trump were reelected, this wouldn't have happened because there would have been no power vacuum. Trump and Zelensky were, they were just, everything would have been the same. But once the Democrats vilified Zelensky and said he was siding with Trump, who was siding with the Russians, and he's a spy, right? And why did they do that? Because Zelensky had the dirt on Biden and his family fucking corruption. And Biden, in his selfish way, fucking caused a power vacuum in Ukraine. And what happened? The dirty Russians came in and took it. So today at the NATO summit, Biden is going to sit down with Zelensky. Nothing's going to happen. It's already been decided. Sorry, Zelensky. No, no NATO for you. So let's talk about Jim Jordan. One last flash at this thing and see what's going on. All right. It's going up. I just exited right here. I took the pre-market. I'm exiting. I hope it didn't. I wonder if it's going to keep going. We're going to find out in a second. Let's see. Jim Jordan calls for ending political sensitive DOJ investigations pending department changes. All right. Now, this is big news. So, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, newly elected to that position by McCarthy, the Speaker of the House. Jim Jordan on Tuesday called on Congress to use its power of the purse to halt Justice Department investigations into elected officials, political candidates, their families, under this new policy. Right? So he's calling on Congress. The demand was among several made by Jordan, the Ohio Republican, as he laid out his vision for how the appropriations process can, quote, constrain out-of-control federal agencies. So this is something that the newly minted Republicans are definitely campaigned on, definitely said they were going to do. And guess what? Now they're doing it. So he sent a 11-page letter. The demand was among several Jordan made for the appropriation process, constrain all out-of-control federal agencies such as the DOJ, FBI, and the DHS, right? All the alphabet groups, the alphabet agencies, DOJ, FBI. We should throw in the CIA as well. In an 11-page letter he sent to the House Appropriation Committee Chairman Kay Granger, a Republican, on Tuesday. So they don't want any funding. They don't want any funding going to the Department of Justice to establish a policy requiring nonpartisan career staff to oversee such a. What are we talking about here? We're talking about a Department of Justice and a Federal Bureau of Investigation that is deeply politicized. That is. It is incredibly politicized. If you are, right now they're controlled by a shadow Democratic Party, a behind-the-scenes Democratic Party, maybe Obama, maybe Clinton's, right? Somebody is, corporate America's got these mother effers, right? Got them. And that has to change, right? Now, you could say, well, if we're not going to go after political candidates, right, that makes a case that Hillary Clinton shouldn't have been locked up. Right? There has to be a fine line here. If there's overt criminal activity, then you have to, even if they're a political candidate or they're a political, they're in political power. They're an elected official. At some point, you still have to be able to go after them. So. For example, if someone in the House, on the House floor, shoots another member and the cameras caught it, you have to prosecute. Right? You can't just exempt them from the law. However, these agencies have to be reined in and or eliminated. So political sensitive investigations, including those investigations of elected officials, their families, political candidates, political organizations, religious organizations, and members of the media. I don't know what's going to become of it, but I think it's a good thing that Jim Jordan is waving his authoritative finger at the House, saying that there is deep corruption at the DOJ. There is political bias at the DOJ, the FBI, the Homeland Security, and the CIA. and he's going after them. There's letters. This is something that wasn't happening a year ago or a month ago or. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted right here. I'm distracted on this Wednesday. I can't get over the hump. So none of the funds made available in this act may be used to build a new FBI. In addition, the FBI is directed to submit an operational plan within 90 days to move the FBI the hell out of Washington, D.C. The operational plan should also consider the existing resources and infrastructure available to the FBI. So he's going after them. He's talking about defunding the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. Defund them. Why is alcohol and tobacco, linked in with firearms and explosives? What does alcohol have to do with firearms? What does tobacco have to do with explosives? The only thing I can think of is money. I control these substances. Alcohol is legal. Let it be. Tobacco is legal. Let people grow it. Let people smoke it. Let people trade it. It's legal. And that's how it should be. Right? Marijuana, cannabis as well. There's no doubt about it. But anyway, so defunding. That's amazing. The Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives Agency. If you sell tobacco across a state line, people show up at your door with guns. Like the guns show up at your door. Come on, tobacco, firearms, and fucking nicotine agency. So our oversight and legislative efforts to date have informed these proposals, which will hold the federal government accountable to the American people. So that's all I wanted to say about it. Jim Jordan sending letters to other House members, starting the conversation that there is deep political corruption, that politicians run the risk of getting thrown in jail if they don't side with the government. Right? How many people did the fucking federal government abuse surrounding Trump? Everybody who gets near Trump gets a fucking subpoena and a jail sentence. It's crazy. That is crazy, right? And Trump threatened the Democrats with it and then did nothing, and then the Democrats threatened Trump with it and then they did something with it. All right, so Trump got out-Trumped, really. So these agencies have to be reined in because it's a scary situation, right? Where, in a political climate, suddenly free speech is shut down, right? Oh, you support, you were talking about that Republican over there. That means you're a right-wing conspiracy theorist and you're a threat to democracy and our way of life and our freedoms, and you're a homophobe and a racist, and we have to shut you down. No. I just said I like Trump and I like Vivek Ramaswamy better than Joe Biden. That's all I said. And I gave you cases and points why they would be a better president. Right? Or Ron DeSantis, for example. Right? But you see how it's how you could be attacked, right? Arguably, I'm a member of the media. I mean, I'm not a political person, but I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to get crushed. And a lot of people with the vaccinations know what it's like to get crushed as well. You lost your job. You got silenced, right? So congratulations, Jim Gerard. Not Jim Gerard. I just called you Jim Gerard. Jim Jordan. You can be Jim Gerard if you want. That's pretty cool. Right? So anyway, so thank you all for joining me. I'm going to kill it here because I got to watch this thing. I got to watch this happen. I have to watch what's happening over here. So thank you all for joining me. Happy Wednesday to you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have a lengthier show. But right now, I got to bounce. Marcus Conte reporting. Let's listen, let these guys take us out. Take us out. Uh-huh.